Alright, fuck it. Today is day 2. Pretty sure if I'm not mistaken. Day 2. We're gonna learn about some trends finally. I've been dying to find a setup to try to find like a trend or like roughly know where to put in a trade. So day 2 for me yesterday was about discipline. Read my page. Actually, I did more than a page. I think I did 2 or 3 in the Bible. So keeping up with the program. So I'm hyped to learn some new things. Let's see what kind of trends we can come up with.
Yo, what's good? Welcome to boot camp, I believe day 4 now, and today is going to be another.
Okay, so it's day 4 for him, day 2 for me, because I started like day 0 at Candlestick, so 1, 2, so day 2 for me. So I'm like 2 days behind, but like going at a different pace, going at my kind of setup type deal. I gotta check some shit real quick on this stream. Okay. Day 2 for me though. That's gonna be how I count it.
Another trading day, okay? So we talked about candlesticks, and then we had 2 talks on discipline. Hopefully you guys learned something from that. Hopefully you guys did your homework. But today we are going to be talking about trends. We're just going to jump right into it. No reason for us to sit around, okay? I have some notes on my phone so I don't get lost in my own thoughts. But we'll just jump right in, okay? So trends within the market. Again, you're probably going to say, oh my God, this is recap. I know we have to cover these super basic, simple shit before. Do I have bed bugs? No, okay. But before we actually get into the difficult stuff like strategy and actually executing, okay? Because all of these little things end up being like the massive umbrella over these small things that you try and master. You try and master strategy, you try and master execution, but you don't even know where the trend's going. You can't even read a candlestick, okay? So how do you expect to perform in the market if you don't understand these simple things? So with that being said, let's talk about trends, okay? So the first point that I want to talk about, why do we even care about the trend? Because it dictates where the market is going, okay? Markets move off of momentum, okay? So once market starts trending, okay, odds are it's going to continue in that direction, okay? So what even is a trend in the first place, okay? A trend is literally, it's almost like you have a basketball on a flat surface and you just push it, right? It's going to roll and roll and roll and roll, okay? Because of that momentum that's pushing it forward, okay? Same thing with market, okay? When market gets a little push or a market structure shift, it's going to start trending, okay? So, whoa, glitching. This is why I need my PC, which is coming in like 3 weeks, but I ordered it and it's on its way. But anyways, why do we care about the trend? Because it tells us exactly where market's going, okay? So the very first thing that we need to understand is how can we spot a trend within the market? And it's honestly one of the easiest and one of the most simple things taught in day trading, okay? So when market is trending higher, okay? Do this. That was terrible, but when market is trending higher, there we go, put a little cap on it. It moves in higher highs and higher lows, right? It'll look something like this, just with a bunch of little candlesticks in the way. And we'll show real life examples of this on charts. But, right, this is like a very simplified version of a trend, right? This is a high, this is a low. When it pushes past this high, it makes a new high that's higher than the previous one, and it makes a new low that's higher than the previous one, okay? So higher highs and higher lows, right? Just like that, and it continues all the way until it breaks its trend, okay? So same thing with the downtrend, just the exact opposite, okay? So for downtrends, it is lower highs and lower lows. Oops. That is honestly what a chart could look like though. Schmink. Okay, that was terrible. I had to do it with like my other finger, but because I don't have a mouse yet. Okay, so, right, downtrend, very similar. We have a high right here, then we make a low right here. Let's say we have a low here as well. And we had a low right here, right? This low is lower than this one. This high is lower than this one, and it continues. Okay, and it's really easy to see these trends. What? Oh, oops. It's really easy to, well, you guys got the point. It's really easy to see these trends within markets Okay? So, right, if we just go to the daily, right here, okay, we see, or this is just a more recent break in structure. We can highlight this one right here. Okay, so right down over here. Okay, we have, boom, a high, then a low. Boom, what do we get? A higher high, then a higher low. Then boom, what do we get? A higher high, a higher low. Okay, boom, what do we get? A higher high, a higher low. Oh. Boom, higher high, higher low, higher high, now lower low because we just surpassed this. So what can we assume that market's going to do now that it broke structure? It's probably going to flip its direction, right? Let me get all these drawings off of here so it looks better. But you can see that, right, once we broke structure and changed direction of the trend, we continued that for a while, right? And now that we just broke structure, odds are we're going to start trending in the opposite direction for a little bit. Okay, so with this understanding, what can this help us do? Trends give us the overall idea of where market is going. Is it exactly how we are going to execute every single time? No, right? We that's not how we're not just going to go, okay, once the high gets pushed above, we're going to enter a trade, right? That's how you can get stopped out. There's a bunch of problems with that, and we want to optimize our entry. However, the trend is pretty much telling us what direction to place our trades in, okay? Because if market is trending in one direction, why in the world, right? If market is trending to the upside, why in the world would you try and take a trade to the downside? If the momentum is pushing it to the upside, wouldn't you want to ride that wave? Wouldn't you want to, you know, be on, right? It's like if you're in a car, right? If you're in a car and you don't have a gas or a brake pedal and you want to get to a certain point. Okay, there's two roads that you can take, uphill or downhill. Okay, which car are you going to get in? The one that's going uphill or downhill if you want to get to the end of that road? You're probably going to want to go downhill, right? Because the momentum will just take you there instantly. Versus if you try and go uphill, you're not going anywhere, right? It's very similar with trading in these trends. Okay, you want to be able to follow this wave, okay? Follow the momentum because that's where price is going to go either way, right? There's no reason to try and catch a retracement because one, you don't know how far or how deep that retracement is. Like this right here, we had a very small low get formed here. And this, we had a very big low. But the extension is always the same. The extension always goes past the high, right? We see the high get pushed through, high get pushed through, high get pushed through, high get pushed through. Every single time, high gets pushed through, okay? So, with that being said, wouldn't it make sense for us to follow that momentum, okay? So that is our goal. If you can identify a trend, okay, which most of you guys should be able to do that because it's a fairly beginner subject, all right? But you want to follow these overarching trends, okay? And when I say overarching trends, this is where it gets kind of tricky because people get so caught up in all these different time frames, okay? They see different trends on a bunch of different time frames, right? There could be 100 different trend switches and changes on the 15-minute over the course of this weekly uptrend that we outlined, right? There's probably way more than that. There's probably like a couple thousand different trend switches and changes within that weekly uptrend on the 15-minute time frame. And that's where people go wrong a lot of the times. They get so caught up on these small time frames saying, oh, the 15-minute broke structure, but higher time frames hold higher power. If the 4 hour is saying, no, we're bearish right now, it's going to go lower and lower and lower, but the 15-minute just broke structure, why do we care about what the 15-minute is saying, right? We want to use the 15-minute in confluence with the higher trend. So, right, if the 4 hour, if the daily, if the weekly is telling us that market is going to go down, and the 15-minute is telling us market's going to go up, why don't we just wait for the 15-minute to tell us, okay, market's going to go down now, right? That would make sense because then we can follow the trend of the market, okay, and then also scale down to the shorter term time frames, right? Because we know that these high time frames are going to push price in that direction, but we want an optimized entry, right? That's what I was just talking about. We want to go on these lower time frames and be able to catch the large high time frame trend moves, but with an optimized entry. Okay? So that is why trends are so important. They literally help optimize your entry and help push price in the direction that you want price to go, right? Going against the trend is never smart, and this has honestly been one of my biggest struggles and issues in trading is trading against the trend and trading against my bias. I'm very good at being able to spot, okay, this is where market wants to go. You know, like I know where market wants to go on a high time frame. It's pretty easy to spot. However, when I get onto these smaller time frames, I'm like, oh, wait a second. This could be a liquidity sweep and then a retracement. But that's the issue, right? We can't be trading off of retracements. We have to be trading off of, we have to be trading off of, we have to be trading off of momentum. I'm sorry, I just spaced the fuck out for a second. Okay, so trade with the trend. The trend is your friend. I know it's stupid, but it's very, very true. Okay, the trend is your friend. And you're probably going to say, well, wait, TJR, I thought you trade off of liquidity sweeps. I thought you trade off of trends changing. Yes, we do, but on lower time frames, right? We trade off of that on lower time frames. So if we see a liquidity sweep, and if we see like a liquidity sweep on the 30-minute time frame, and then a break of structure to the downside on the 5-minute time frame, and the 4-hour and the daily are saying bear, 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 that's great. That's perfect. That means that we just caught the top of the next leg down. Okay, that's why I trade the way that I do. Okay, so now that we understand how to read a trend, how to spot them, right? So literally just higher highs and higher lows, and the next trading video will jump into break of structure because that's going to be huge. Okay, I might even do 2 trading videos on that because people do seem to get confused on it, which is pretty interesting because it is a fairly simple concept to grasp, but I do want to make sure people understand it because it is very, very important when understanding these markets and how they move and how structure shifts and how trends form and how, just markets are moving in general. Okay. So the trend is your friend. Trade with the trend, right? Obviously it's hard for me to say at this point in the boot camp, it's hard for me to be like, yeah, the downtrend, it's hard for me to tell you like exactly where and when to execute because we don't have all the pieces yet, right? This is just giving an overall umbrella, right? Find that overall umbrella, and again, we need to start on these main overarching themes to get lower and lower and lower and more exact so we can be able to master these small, precise things within price action, but we have to understand the basics first, okay? So, right? What have we learned so far? We know how to identify a trend, literally higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, lower lows. Okay, there is another way that market trends, and this just reminded me of it. It's through consolidation, okay? There's 3 different ways that market moves, okay? It's either through trends or just consolidation, right? Look at this. Within here, right? Okay, we see a higher high, and then we see a higher low, but, right? Like, this is not a trend. When do we know that market's trending? If it continued higher like this, right? But no, it just stayed like this. It was stagnant. Didn't make a move until boom, right here. What happens? Okay, we're making highs. Before this break, we were going higher and higher, right? Then we chop it up. Boom, we break the floor, we break the low, we change market structure, and you'll understand that when we get to the break of structure and market structure portion, but we break the low, and then what happens? Okay, we have high right here, low right here, high right here, boom, market structure shift. Right now, what are we in? We're in a downtrend. Okay, so what can we assume that gold's going to do, right? We came back up here, high, low, lower high, lower low. Lower high, what's next? Probably a lower low targeting this area of liquidity, which we will get into eventually, right? But again, see how I was able to just take a very simple overarching subject and literally, like, this is some of you could be trading like this and be profitable. Don't believe me? Fucking try it. Some of you guys can trade this. Ideally, right, we don't trade this way so we get more optimized entries, right? So we can have tighter stop losses, right? So we can get higher risk reward trades. But some of you guys can trade like this. If the shit that I teach doesn't make sense to you, you can still do the basics. Okay? You can still do the basics. All right? So, there we go. We know how to identify a trend. Okay? We know that it shifts momentum within the market. It shifts market structure. Okay? And it tells us the direction that market wants to go. Okay? We cannot be caught up. Notice how when I identified that trend, again, that trend is on like the 30-minute. Okay, but it's following the daily trend, right? We have boom, high, lower high. We have a low right here and another lower high, and then boom, lower low, another lower high, lower low, probably in the process of forming another lower high just to form another lower low, right? The daily is telling us lower, 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 lower. Perfect. So when we scale down onto a smaller time frame, we can say, okay, where does price want to go? We know on the high time frame it wants to go down. We're on a small time frame. Wouldn't it make sense for us to want to catch, you know, the big massive wave and not these little ticky-tacks to the upside, right? We would want to find something that's going down, right? To continue that daily trend, right? So how are we going to do that, right? Literally just finding shorts on a small time frame, and we'll get there. We'll get to the point where we can execute. We're not there yet, okay? Because we just started, and hopefully you guys can be patient with this. But trust me, this will benefit you because I see so many people. There's a reason why you're losing in these markets, guys. There's a reason why you're losing every fucking day. Because you're not taking these basic, simple, very, very important strategies, not even strategies, just concepts. You're throwing them out. You're going completely off of liquidity sweep, break of structure, must enter. There's a liquidity sweep and break of. I could go on the 1 minute time frame and find a million liquidity sweeps and breaks of structure, all throughout in here, all in here. I could do that a million times within this, right? Some of you guys are entering off of these little ticky-tack things, and it's like, no, that isn't going to get you winning trades. That's not going to get you high probability trades. What do you think is more high probability? Taking a liquidity sweep and a break of structure off of purely 5-minute price action, off of purely a 5-minute trend, and maybe like the help and the confluence of the hourly, or understanding where price wants to go long term, maybe on the 4-hour or the daily at least, right? Because we're working with intraday price action. At least know where we're going for the day, right? Because if you don't know where price wants to go for the day, you're going to lose. If you cannot understand where price wants to go for that single day, and you are trading intraday trades, if most of your trades last a couple hours, if not a couple minutes, you need to know where price wants to go on the day. Okay, and that's where understanding and knowing the trend matters. Okay, you have to be able to understand that. Okay, use your trend to your advantage, okay, when looking for small time frame trades. That's what I had written down. Okay, let's see if I missed anything. Where is the market going? We understand that, right? Literally just by reading the trend. And guys, like something that really helped me when I was first learning this, look, simplifies the fuck out of it. Where's market going? High, low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher low, right? Oh, we get a trend shift, right? High, low. Oops, let me remove this. Right? We see high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, not a lower low. Okay, we push a little bit higher, continue, right? And when that happens, right, what can we assume? It's just a retracement on a higher time frame. Now what's this? High, low, lower high, lower low. Okay, right? We're understanding. Okay, and then boom, right? What happens? High gets pushed above. Now what? Higher low, higher high, big dive. Okay, use the line chart to your advantage. Okay, like if we're looking at the 15, we scale down into this. Can tell you, right? Doesn't this look a lot simpler? To be honest, some of you guys really should be using this. Right? This makes this shit so much easier. Right? Oh, we're looking for it to hit equilibrium. Let's not get caught up in all the candlesticks. Okay, perfect. We're in a premium right now. Now what are we looking for? Okay, we're looking for a trend shift on the 5 minute. Okay, or the 15 minute, whatever you want. Okay, we're just waiting for these lows to get pushed down below, right? We're doing this, we're chopping up, we're consolidating right now because this was from Friday, right? Market just ended. It needs some volume to come in today because today is Sunday during Asian session, during Asian session and London session. And then once New York session kicks in, we'll be able to understand where price wants to go from there. But some of you guys could really benefit from taking out the color of the candlesticks, okay, and just identifying, right, where's price going? It's super easy just to zoom out on a high time frame and just look. Where was market going? Down. So why in the world would you want to look for longs in this? We're looking for shorts. Notice how, right, the moves higher are always smaller than the moves lower. The moves higher are always smaller than the moves lower. If you measure it in every single trend, because that's how trend works, right? That's how trends work. Lower highs, lower lows. The lows are always lower than the previous ones. The highs are always lower than the previous highs. The highs are not going higher in a downtrend, and same thing with an uptrend, right? In an uptrend, the lows are not going lower than the previous lows. It's higher highs and higher lows. So why are we trying to trade the opposite things? Move with the momentum, move with the trend, and you will be able to catch bigger, longer, higher time frame moves on a smaller time frame. Okay? That is what this is all about. Okay? This was a very, very simple exercise and very simple thing, but hopefully you guys learn from this, and please do not forget it, because I know I forget it occasionally, and that's when I lose trades. That's when I fuck up. Okay, and my biggest recovery from like having like a losing week, my losing week was because I was getting so caught up in the small time frames. I was not looking at the high time frames. I didn't even care where the higher time frames wanted to go. I didn't care at all. Okay? But that was my issue. Okay, the second that I can start understanding, okay, the higher time frame wants to do this, how can I find an optimized entry to ride that next wave that comes down, right? To ride that next boom, fucking dump, waterfall down. When can I get that next? Okay, that's how you can get those good, high risk to reward, high quality, high probability trades. Okay, so do not take these early lessons lightly. I know you guys really want to jump right into the strategy, but trust me, the strategy is purely a step-by-step plan on how to execute. If you can't understand this, if you can't understand what price is telling you through candlesticks, what makes you think that you will know when to enter a trade if you don't even know where the market's going in the first place? Because the step-by-step rule, all those steps, those can be applied in either direction, high or low, or going higher or going lower, right? I could find a trade in both directions using that strategy on the same move, right? It's understanding where the market wants to go, though. You have to understand where market wants to go, okay? Trade with the direction of the market, because the market isn't going to move for you. Right? We see people blowing on their screens. Please go higher, please bull, right?
That's when
the
it's like
market isn't
fucking
going
gambling.
to listen to you. It's going to do what it wants.
There's like the fucking people at the casino that are like scraping the screens trying to make the fucking bullshit stop so they can win. That's not the plan here. It's not fucking gambling. It's trying to have like a educated type guess.
And it's going to follow its own path. Okay? So, with that being said, homework for today. I literally just want you guys to go on whatever pair you use and identify for this upcoming trading week, okay, because this is going to be posted on Monday. All right? Identify for this upcoming trading week where you think price is going to go. Okay? Make a prediction, okay, based off of what you know currently or just the bare minimum that you've learned so far from this course. Okay.
Oh shit, so here's roadblock number 1. It's it's Thursday for me, so it doesn't matter. I still have tomorrow, so we could look at this shit and trade. But Saturday and Sunday, those are gonna be days off, basically. So I don't know if I should alter these videos. Since it is a Friday, I'll save all of the like videos that he's talking about with like goal setting and shit, and let's see, like discipline he was talking about the other day, and then take action. So like those videos are, because he does like mental and he does like trading videos, and they alternate each day. So I think I'm gonna save those videos of like psychology and planning and shit for the weekend, and I'm gonna try to get the trading videos out for the week so that I can actually look at the charts and apply this homework type deal.
Identify where you think price wants to go for the week, okay? And then after that, scale down to a lower time frame, and then identify, okay, right? So you're going to start off, where does price want to go for the week? Okay, make that prediction. Write it down. Please journal this. Write down where you think price is going to go. Choose just 1 or 2 pairs. Okay, it can either be the S&P 500, gold, GJ, GU, whatever you want. Okay, just identify where you think price wants to go for the week. Okay, and then once you do that, once you identify this is where price wants to go for the week, cool. Once you do that, scale down to the daily. Then say, okay, where is price going to go in the next couple days? Because you can make an accurate prediction on the week, but does that mean you'll be able to be accurate on these lower time frames? You know? Okay, so where does it want to go in the week? Where is the draw of liquidity? And we'll talk about that sooner or later, okay, eventually, right? We just need to cover these super simple things first. Okay, where does price want to go in the week? Where does price want to go in the next couple days? And then where does price want to go today? Where is price going to go today? And then if you are capable, if you already know my strategy, if you already know how to trade, draft up a trade based off of those biases. And it only has to be just one trade, okay? Right? Where do you think price is going to go for the week? Perfect. Do you understand that bias? Now, where is price going to go the next couple days? Perfect. Do you understand that bias? Okay. Where is price going currently? Where is price going currently, right? Everything on gold says it's going to go down, but currently price is going up. So what's it giving us an opportunity to do? Find an area in which we can go short. Okay, so we're going to look for an opportunity.
Okay, so we could do looking for opportunities of growth and looking for opportunities of shorting.
Project where price wants to go. I don't even want you to draft up a trade. I don't want you to have a stop loss. I don't even want you to set up this position
He's just said to draft a trade
thing on it. I literally just want you to use the forecast tool, drag it from wherever price is at right now, and show where price wants to go. Just like that.
Use draft tool. Wait, what was it?
Wherever price is at, I want you to set up this position thing on it. I literally just want you to use the forecast tool, drag it from wherever price is at right now, and show where price wants to go. Just like that. Just like that. And it's okay if price goes a little bit higher and then fulfills your targets. Okay, because at least you
I want to see if this shit's gonna save on TradingView at least. See if that shit sticks or not. I don't know.
knew where price wanted to go, right? The execution will come later, and we'll talk about when we know when price is going to change direction in the market. But this is a great step, and this is a great learning point. Okay, do this on 1 or 2 pairs, right? Choose whatever your favorite 2 pairs.
I'm gonna do S&P 500 and gold. That seems to be the move.
Or if you only trade one pair, only do it on that one. If you trade 3 pairs, only do it on 2 of them and throw the third one out. Okay, you only need to be focused on 1 or 2 pairs this entire boot camp. What makes you think you can understand multiple asset classes if you're already losing on 10 of them?
I did a test where I was looking at like Tesla, S&P 500, gold, Bitcoin, and I think that was all. And they all kind of move the same, to be honest. Maybe we'll get into
Okay,
that.
if you're losing on every single one of them, wouldn't it make sense for you to try and slow it down, to try and simmer down, right, and try and focus on just one of them first instead of trying to study 10 or 20? It probably would make sense. Okay, so that being said, let's get to work. All right, do your homework. I advise you guys to experiment with the line chart to help understand direction, right? Because it's really easy just to scale back on these higher time frames and literally just look, where is price going, right? 4 hour. Where is price going? It's going fucking down. Okay, over here, where is price going? It's going fucking up. Okay, where is price going? It's going down. Okay, where is price going? It's going up. Right? Very easy. Right? You don't even have to get all up in your head. Where's the higher, low? Just look. Where is market going? Right? It's as simple as that. And we'll get to execution later. Okay? So with that being said, get your fucking homework done right after you watch this video. Okay? Make sure you keep trying to master your mind. Make sure you keep trying to improve, okay? And if you're watching this video, I already know you're trying to improve, so that's good. Good for you. Keep after it. Stay strong. Let's get this shit. All right, peace out. I'll see you guys tomorrow. What's good, guys?
All right, so that was day 4. So I know I'm gonna have to probably look back at this shit and see how did he get to that line chart as
Like
well.
that. Cool.
Okay. So fuck it. We got like good 30 minutes to look at this shit and try to call this shit out. I want to be at least an hour in. So we have NASDAQ and so S&P 500 cash. This is the one that I'm gonna do. Oh wow, what the fuck? It dumped today. Holy shit, dumped. We're looking at this the other day. And just took a fat shit today, this market. Wow. Damn, okay. Let's look at gold as well. So I was looking at gold. Or better yet, silver. I'm gonna stick to the higher shit. Damn, gold dumped too. What the fuck? Wait, what's going on with silver out of curiosity? There's silver. No shit. 76! Oh my god. Yo, I was in on a 2-year silver trade, and I wanna see this. I wanna see this actually. I think we're on the 1-minute chart. So let me do, for example, 1 day. What the fuck is going on? So each candlestick's gonna be a day. So I was at, what was this at? 27, 29, 30. I was buying in at about 30 to $32. I think there was a point where it went to like 27. I was right around this time because I had it for a while. I was just kind of sitting, going up and down, up and down. This just started fucking skyrocketing. Hit 50. Went back down. I sold when it was about 90. Oh no. It was about 95-ish. Right here at this point right here. And I'm so glad I did, because I was selling for like maybe 5 back on spot. It peaked at like 120. And now we're sitting at like 76, which is fucking nuts. I was just looking at it. It was just 80, 85, 86. That's wild. That's wild. Okay. Anyway, we'll stick back to what we were looking at before. So I want to stick to S&P 500. S&P 500 is pretty chill. That's what I want to look at. So I want to try to learn how to do the line chart. So one of the things that you're saying, identify where price is going to go for weekday. So draft the trade forecast tool. Experiment with line chart. Let's do the week. I'm gonna do the week. So what do we see? So we're looking for trends. Let's see, S&P 500. I'm gonna write the date down. 2/12/26. And current price. So I'm gonna do 6885, which what it is. And it is 1:45 p.m. So what were the trends like? Lower highs, lower lows, but it's going on like a sort of an uptrend in general. So we'll go off of this here. So here's a low, here's a high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, lower, higher low, higher high, higher low. Looks like a higher lowish, higher high, higher low, higher high, high. Oh, it dipped over here though. Why'd it do that? Anyway, restart. Low, higher high, higher low, lower low. This might not be a good example here. Higher high, higher low, higher high. Like flatlined over here, so I don't know if I would call that a low. Slightly higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. I probably wouldn't count that as a low. Higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Still a lower low, lower high. Damn. So here's an uptrend. That's one of them. They start trending down. Let's see, lower low, lower high. Higher high, lower low, higher high, lower low, or higher low. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Yeah, but it got fucked up over here. Identify where the price is gonna go for the week / daily. So I mean, it just looks like overall we're in an uptrend. I don't know if I should get into. Oh, not fucking. TradingView's not letting me use my tools anymore. Let's see if I can refresh it and see what happens. And it's all fucked up. Okay, that's great. So I did have some volume. Did have some trend lines as well. This is what I wanted to look at. We're in the 1 minute as well. We need to go to the 1 week. It's all fucked again. I might actually have to buy like TradingView Premium or whatever. But another thing I was looking at is the averages. When it opens up, this doesn't look very strong. This was going strong. I don't know if it's closing up a little bit though. You see, like, opens up strong and it starts closing off. So this isn't really what the lesson is talking about, so I don't know if I should use this tool. Fuck. Yeah, see, now it's gonna be all gone. Oh no, it's still here. That was weird. I don't know why it didn't let me do that before. But I'm gonna use my tools that I have. So it looks like Doesn't look very strong. It might just float. Fuck. It's a lot stronger than here. Let me boost it up. You know, I'm gonna predict that that we're gonna go higher. So let's use this. What was he using the forecast? Oh shit. I'm gonna predict we're gonna go a little higher. I'm gonna go 10% up for the week. I'm gonna go 10% up for the week. That's gonna be my call. I don't know how good it's gonna be, but I don't know really everything about it. So that's for the week. Let's go for the day. See what we got going on over here. Get rid of this this shit's kind of in my way. Try to open up this chart a little bit more. Okay, so now we look like a lot stronger of a trend up. It's a higher high, higher low, lower high, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Yeah, this is not a very strong, solid trend, to be honest. It's all over the place. Fuck, my mic just died. I'm gonna put on some non-copyrighted shit in the background so the shit stays on. You know what's fucked up is I did this shit last time, and it copyrighted my shit. So these videos are full of shit. Shit's not true. I'm gonna do it anyway because I don't need to put ads on these lives. It's not for that. These lives, the whole point of this live is not to get a bunch of views. It's more of like just a log. So I don't really give a fuck. Let's try to go on the week with gold. See how this looks like. Do a line chart here as well. So it looks like this is a pretty strong uptrend with gold. I don't know if this is CFDs on gold. What the fuck? US/ounce. Okay, I'm gonna just stay on this one. Whatever. So it seems like higher high, higher low. Higher high. Higher high, higher low. Wow, this chart's not very solid either though. Maybe we should look at another chart. I see news also looking at a let's look at NASDAQ. What's a day? Let's try the week. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Higher low, higher high, higher low. Okay, now this is a pretty strong trend up. Higher high, higher low, higher high. About the same, maybe a lower low. Now it's going sideways. What was he saying about that? It's stagnant, right? He mentioned something about that.
Okay,
Just
so
don't
we're
remember
going
at
to
one
look
point in the
simple
video.
concept.
Was he mentioning something about it going like stagnant? Forgot exactly. Oh, here we go. This is where he mentions it.
Right? Just consolidate. There's three different ways that market moves, okay? It's either through trends or just consolidation, right? Look at this.
So it seems like it's consolidating as far as the Nasdaq goes, or it's starting to at least. That's what we're seeing here. Consolidating. The fuck happened? Why is this audio gone?
Okay, we see a higher high and then we see a higher low, but right? Like this is not a trend.
That is not a trend. And you don't really see that. You see a little bit here. Then it falls. Consolidates, falls, but then shot back up. But didn't consolidate for long. Consolidated. But this is much more of a consolidation. It's more flat. This isn't much. Fuck, if we're looking at it like that, it might go up. But then again, it was a little bit here and it fell down. Might have to give it more time. Maybe it's just testing the market. Look how flatlined it is over here. It starts shooting up. It's testing, goes up. Up, testing, goes down. Goes up, but small consolidations. This is more. This is longer consolidation. Consolidating down. Consolidating down. Consolidating down, but it shoots up. Consolidates down. I'm gonna say it's gonna go down. That's what I'm feeling right now. I don't know, like I said, how right that is, but I'm gonna forecast this to go down. I'm gonna go down 10%. That's my prediction on here. I wonder if this shit's gonna save though. Let's go on the day chart. See how this is looking, what else we could find. Yeah, look at this consolidation here.
When do we know that market's trending?
See, I fucking knew it. Look. It's consolidating. It's just going sideways. Stagnant.
If it continued higher like this, right? But no. It just stayed like this. It was static, stagnant. Didn't make a move until boom, right here. What happens? Okay, we're making highs. Before this break, we were going higher and higher, right? Then we chop it up. Boom, we break the floor, we break the low, we change market structure, and you'll understand that when we get to the break of structure and market structure portion. But we break the low, and then what happens? Okay, we have high right here, low right here, high right here. Boom, market structure shift. Right now, what are we in? We're in a downtrend. Okay, so what can we assume that gold's going to do, right? We came back up here. High, low, lower high.
Trying to see another point in time. Here's another good example. Consolidation or stagnant, and then it fell. Fell. Then it started coming back up. Consolidated, stagnant, and it fell. So is it stagnant trend lead to downward market? Downward, what would it be a good word for that? Stagnant trends lead to downward trends. Stagnant trends lead to downward trends. The trends kind of go into each other. So yeah, I'm gonna say it goes down. Yeah, I'm gonna move this to like a more extreme example. Same with the the SPY. Just, you know, their stronger point across. I think it's gonna go down. So that's 2 examples. What else could we look for? So identify where its price is going to go for week and daily, which we just did on 2. Draft the trade / forecast tool. Explain with line chart. So just for the shits and giggles of it, let's try to do a day trade real quick here. And I don't know how long it's gonna be valid for. I think so. Let's say we short it, okay? So I'm gonna turn that to green because that's what we want it to do. That's what we're placing our money on. And let's do 10%. That's gonna be our stop loss, for example. So here's the single trade on NASDAQ that we're predicting. It's gonna be our first prediction right here. S&P 500. We're predicting that it's gonna go up. So fuck it, we don't have to be exact. Those are my guesses. I want to have this on the stream. I hope this saves. I don't know if it will. I guess we'll see. Now that we know that, let's see what's going on in the minute chart. Fuck, I don't want to fuck this up though. Let's try it with a different one. Fuck it, I'm not gonna be worried about it. Let's go to the minute chart. Since we have a theory. What is going on in our minutes? Whoa. This is back here, I think. This is kind of tweaking about. Higher high, low, higher low. It's very weird. It's like, I think that's a trend for consolidation. I'm not really sure. Let's go back to our day chart. I want to leave it at this because I don't want to fuck it up. Let's go look at a, so the SPY and the NASDAQ, they move together though. That's what I kind of noticed. But do they? This doesn't look very, you know, NASDAQ might be more extreme. As you can see, this huge dip here, and S&P 500. Like, look, if I were to make it look very similar, maybe I'll put them together more. Look at how much they move, basically the same. I'm not trying to be like 50-50, that type of guy. It's gonna be like, oh, if it wins or loses, I'm gonna win. I'm genuinely predicting this. If it's consolidating here, then why wouldn't I make it like that here? It seems like it's going in kind of an uptrend. So either way, I don't want it to be like that though. I don't want to be either right or wrong on one out of two trades, you know, because I know that they do move the same. But based on what was I looking at, where is the price going to go for daily and week? Experiment with line chart.
Lower low, lower high. First, go short. Going to change direction in the market now. And find an area in which we can go short. To loss, I don't right now. It's a little bit higher and choose 3 pairs, only Ibuki, 10 of them. We're down, right, and would make sense. Do your homework. I advise you guys to experiment with the line chart to help understand direction, right? Because it's really easy just to scale back on these higher time frames and
to help understand what direction. That's the whole reason why we're doing the line chart type deal.
literally just look. Where is price going? Right? 4 hour. Where is price going? It's going fucking down. Okay? Over here. Where is price going? It's going fucking up. Okay, where is price going? It's going down. Okay, where is price going? It's going up. Right? Very easy. Right? You don't even have to get all up in your head. Where's the higher, low? Just look. Where is market going? Right?
Just look where market is going with line chart.
As simple as that. And we'll get to execution later. Okay? So with that being said, get your fucking homework done right after you watch this video. Okay? Make sure you keep trying to master your mind. Make sure you keep trying to improve, okay? And if you're watching this video, I already know you're trying to improve, so that's good. Good for you. Keep after it. Stay strong. Let's get this shit. All right, peace out. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okay. So that was basically it. As far as the homework goes, look where the market is going. So let's do that with gold. We're gonna be on the week chart. It doesn't move that much. I wanna try the let's try the silver chart instead of daily. We'll go to the week. And keep it simple. Where is price going? Price is going up. Price is going down. Downtrend. Stagnant. Guess slight uptrend. Now it skyrocketed up. Okay, huge uptrend. Try to look back a little bit more. Damn, I remember they're talking about like peaks since fucking 80s. The fucking 80s, the last time it was at 50. That is fucking crazy. And look, it dumped like a motherfucker, dude. Oh no, yeah. 2011 as well. 2011 it hit like 50. Damn, is that a big gap. Look at the gaps closing though. All that time lost. Look as time went on, you know. 2011. Here's 10 years later. 2021. Now what? Fucking 5 years later. Is that what, 27? 5 years later. 76. Should we have a prediction for silver that it's gonna crash? It's gonna dump again, and then it's gonna skyrocket even higher. Is that what's gonna be happening here with silver? If it is, I mean, even if it goes low again, I'm gonna buy more. That's the plan, for sure, without a doubt. We'll stick to the program though. Uptrend, mega downtrend. Uptrend, downtrend, stagnant. And it starts coming up. Downtrend, uptrend, downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. Sort of a downtrend. downtrend, uptrend, consolidation-ish type deal. Huge uptrend. Okay, I know he's seeing the stick to a couple. Let's look at Tesla. We could make another prediction. We got time. So, oh wow, look at that. This is something old. I don't even know where the fuck it just was. I accidentally moved it. Goodbye. So we know shit's gonna stay, cause dude, I haven't used TradingView in a fat minute. On the day chart though, let's go to the month or week. And we'll go to the day after. Okay, so with Tesla we have downtrend, downtrend, downtrend. Look at he was right. The uptrends are so short, downtrends are longer. Consolidation here, kind of ish, a little bit, and then it went up. It's not very much. Twin Peaks strat. Peak, peak. Then it went up. Another peak, peak. Went down. But this is like. You see the July, okay, let's say. We're here at this point in time, so Twin Peaks strat. October. Then you're waiting until about November. From October to November on this big ass trade before we start celebrating. So that's why I really want to do minute tradings, like on the minute chart, not the week, because dude, you're waiting a fuckload of time for this trade to be complete. There's another Twin Peak looking ass chart. We're gonna dip down a little bit, probably. We're gonna go higher. Oh yeah, that's gonna be my prediction then. I know it's an extreme measure, but that's gonna be my prediction here. Let's go to the day chart and see what's going on. Looks like some consolidation action going on over here. Uptrend, downtrend. Downtrend, uptrend. Consolidation type deal. Uptrend. Downtrend. Okay, I think we got some decent, like, information from this. I still don't know very much about what's going on. I kind of feel like I do. To a point. Uptrend. Downtrend. Okay, I think we got a decent amount of predictions in for today. I think I'm gonna call it. It's a good hour. Work on my other homework from the other day. And S&P 500, Nasdaq, stagnant trends lead to downward trends. That's what we got, you know. We'll see what happens with this here. We'll go from there. That's what the play is gonna be here, so we'll see. We'll continue tomorrow. That was my hour for the day. Did my homework, and I'm gonna go read the Bible now. Catch y'all.